So it's been over, I think, about 1 month since I've been to Mexico, Mazatlán, that sunny place, sand and sun and all-inclusive 1 week sunwing vacation. All you can eat and all you can drink. So I still miss that. Still, it's been 1 week. So when I planned for that that holiday for 1 week, I was prepared to actually go all out, like binging all out, like eat as much as possible and drink as much as possible and worry about it later. Because you only have 1 life to live, right? But I didn't. I knew better. I know that I only have 1 life to live, but I wanted to last it longer, so first time I just moderated my eating and didn't drink as much and just cut down on myself. Not like 20 years ago when I went to Cuba. Very similar, 2 weeks of Club Med, 2 weeks of all you can eat, all you can drink, and just do anything you want. So temptation was everywhere. And I fell into temptation. I gave into temptation, so I ate as much as possible. I drank as much as possible. I think within 2 weeks, I gained about 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And I wasn't the only one who actually gained that much weight. I think everybody else who came in together, like a week or 2 weeks there, they gained about 10 to 15 pounds. I mean, they were much heavier. So I was kind of worried on the way back because the plane might not be able to take off, right? And before they were coming, the plane was very much lighter, and then all of a sudden people were just heavy, and then I felt the plane just took a much longer time to taking off on the way back. But now this time but that was back in 20 years ago. I was much younger. I was a little bit foolish, right? And I had my stomach. I was able to tolerate anything that I could eat in my stomach, so it was okay. But now I'm much wiser and older, and my stomach can only take so much. So I moderated my eating this time. Actually, I exercised like every day. Exercise for 6 days. 7 days we were there for 6 days. We exercised about 2 hours. So I think I actually lost about half pound on the way back. So yeah, it was good. It was like I really moderated, and I did not give in to temptation. But it was not easy, folks. It was not easy. The temptation was everywhere. It's never easy to not giving in to temptation when it's so near, so accessible, so easy to get. It's never easy to not give in to temptation when all you have to do is just reach out, because it looks so innocent, right? All you have to do is just, no harm done, you just have to take it and reach out and to get it, right? It's never easy. Temptation was everywhere. And I was making myself like I'm in a holiday after all. It's all inclusive. I paid for it, right? And I deserve it, right? I deserve it. No harm done, right? So what was happening was that temptation was happening not only from outer forces, but for inner forces as well. I was making excuses for myself why I should not resist temptation, why I should just eat as much and drink as much. I was making excuses myself and justifying why I should not resist the temptation. Oh, I've been tempted. I've been tempted. Have you been tempted? Are you tempted? Adam and Eve were tempted. Satan approaches Adam and Eve and says, take it and eat it. Well, it's easy. All you have to do is just reach out. No harm done. It's just an innocent-looking fruit. So they took it and ate it. Jesus was tempted. For 40 days and 40 nights, he was in the desert, in the wilderness. He was there to fasting. And by the end of 40 days and 40 nights, he was tired, he was hungry, and he was thirsty, exhausted. And Satan approaches Jesus and says, hey, Jesus, you must be very hungry. Why don't you turn this stone into bread and satisfy your hunger? You know you can do that. And then he took him up to the top of the building and says, Jesus, you're the Son of God. You jump over this building and the angels will protect you. You know you can. You have power and you will be popular and famous. And then he took him up to the top of the mountain and said, Jesus, take a look at all this word. I will give you the word if you bow down to me. I know you can do that. It's so easy for you to snap of your fingers. You have power to do that. It's so easy. No harm done. No one will know. Just do it. Turn it. Jump and bow down to me. And Jesus said, I will obey God. I will worship God and God only. Get away, Satan. So Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 5, verse 19, he said, so through the disobedience of the one man, all were made sinners. So through the obedience of the one man, all will be made righteous. The disobedience of the first Adam brought in death to all. But the obedience of the second Adam, Jesus, brought in life eternal. Jesus was obedient to God and he overcame temptation. And he brought in life eternal for all of us. Are you tempted? Are we tempted? How do you overcome temptation? By being obedient to God. It basically comes down to matter of obedience, our faithfulness to God. So let's just review once again the two temptation stories from the Genesis and to Jesus' temptation as well. So that we can understand why one man is submitted to the temptation and the other man is submitted to God. From the Genesis first story of temptation, actually, it started from the positive command from God. God said to Adam and Eve, He created Adam and Eve and took them into the Garden of Eden, and God said, Adam and Eve, you may freely eat of every tree in the garden. But the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, because if you eat it, you shall die. But it was, at the beginning, was a permission-giving command. There was no restriction. Every tree you may eat of it. There was no restriction. The central command was permission-giving command. You are able to eat the freedom command, the permission-giving command. You are able to eat everything. So it was a permission-giving at the beginning, and the freedom abounds. You are free to roam about, free to do whatever you want, free to eat whatever you want to eat in the Garden of Eden. It was a permission-giving, permission-granting, permission-giving word. God's creation is the word of yeses. Permission-giving, yeses. God says, yes, Adam, yes, 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 yes. No, but yes, yes, yes. Of course, yes, Adam. But we turn the yeses into the word of no's. We say, no, 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 maybe, no, 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 absolutely no. Satan says, did God really say you shall not eat of any tree in the garden? So we are tempted to turn yeses into no. We are tempted to switch permission giving to permission taking away the permission and putting all the regulations and all the obligations into our lives, into our relationships. Instead of enjoying the freedom, God's abundance, and God's grace and mercy, we enslave one another, we prison one another, we shackle one another with regulations and rules and all the do's and don'ts into our lives and one another. We're putting all the regulations on realistic expectations to one another. God said, Adam, you may eat of every tree, but we find it so hard to believe that it's so that generous, it's that wonderful, it's that extravagant. We put fences around us. And we draw the list of do's and don'ts, and we make the restrictions. We make the boxes. We only allow ourselves and permit others to roam free within only those boxes we created. We turn yeses into no's. But at the beginning, God was permission giving. It was all about yes. You see, Christianity is really all about religion of permission giving. Religion, it's all about permission giving. It basically operates with only one rule of the big, broader rule of love. That's all there is. Love one another, love God, love creation. That's what it is. In that love, there's much freedom. There's much grace abounds. God's grace in Jesus Christ creates. We focus on God's grace in Jesus Christ, not our sinfulness. We focus on God's grace, and within that grace, there's much freedom abounds. So when we come to church, we try to unburden ourselves and others from all the life sap and all those unnecessary regulations and do's and don'ts. When people come to church, we say, hey, you look heavy. Why are you loading at the bag? Just to put it down. We permit other people to put those heavy burdens from back and just put it down. And just come as you are. You are welcome as you are, as brothers and sisters and children of God. We welcome them as who they are. The church is really all about permission giving, permission granting. Freedom abounds. The Church of Jesus Christ is really all about giving people freedom, giving people permission, and it's love contagious community. So Satan tempts Adam and Eve. Did God say you shall not eat of any tree in the garden? And Adam and Eve responds, what God says, we may eat of fruit in the garden, but we shall not eat of that fruit of that tree in the middle of garden. The temptation has already taken its fruit. They have not acted on it yet, but it has taken its fruit. It has anchored, it has taken its fruit into their hearts already. You see how Adam and Eve, they place and prioritize that tree into their life at the center. They centralize it, they put it on the spot, under the spot. Put it in the middle of their hearts. They said, that tree that is in the middle of garden. We don't know where the tree was. God did not specify where the location of tree was. It was in the midst of garden. Says, was not in the middle of garden. God did not specify. God did not put any. There was no warning sign says, you shall not eat of this and then you will die. There was no warning sign. The Adam and Eve probably knew what that was, but it was not into any of their concern. What's significant for them was that they were concerned was that they were given freedom to just roam about, freedom to do whatever their heart desired, freedom to eat from every tree. It was not in their concern to know the location, but all of a sudden, that tree takes the central stage in their life. Overcasting and under the spotlight. And then all of their obsession, all of their desire, all of their everything is focused on that tree, into that fruit. And their hearts and their eyes were locked into that tree and that fruit. And as they were doing that, there became a tunnel vision, just only one thing, and everything else just faded away. And they focused on it, and step by step, gradually, they looked at it. And it looked just innocent looking, good for food, for body, and for mind. Looks so precious. My they took it and ate it. Anybody want some fun? Shaman? Anybody want some fun? Tastes good. Now, why would they allow themselves to walk in? Fall into temptation. Why would they walk away from the life of praise, the word of abundant blessings and freedom, into the life of sin, into the word of curse and death? Why would they do that? Well, you will not die, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God. So it's all about becoming like God, all about becoming our own master, our own Lord, all-powerful, all-knowing, and almighty, and this leads to our demise, to our death. Theologically speaking, and literally speaking, the ultimate meaning of death is a state of separation from God, separation from God's creation, and separation from one another. When we try to be like God of our own existence and destiny, when we forget our place in the circle of life, when there is a confusion in our created identity and purpose, when the boundary line between God and us becomes hazy and blurry, when we try to become God of our own, we introduce death to ourselves and to the created world order and to one another. When God created Adam and Eve, God has given us special power to take care of God's creation. In other words, God says, you have your job to do, and I have my job to do. I want you to mind your own business, and I will mind my own business. And as long as you exercise your power to bring well-being to my creation, as long as you use your power to improve the lives and well-being of others, life will abound. I will be very happy. And this power that God gave to each one of us is not some trivial power, some cheap trick to be used for our own selfish gain, to satisfy our own personal desire, to be used to dominate and oppress others, to make ourselves popular and stand out among others, to be used to hoard more power, to make ourselves like a God. Because if we do, we will die, and many will die as well. The wrong use of power brings death and separation, not only to us, but for others as well. Last 3 weeks, I think I watched news, and there was this one person, like well-known and powerful movie mogul, where the Me Too movement has started. What's his name? Yeah. How many people, how many women did he abuse with power? His abuse of power brought so much pain, so much suffering, grief, shame, and fear, and death to many people. And of course, heartbreaking is John Granier. You know who John Granier is? He's the founder of large international plays. The last 50 years, they've worked hard to care for those people who are mentally challenged. And he just passed away last year at the age of 90, and something just resurfaced. And through the period 1975 to 1990, he has abused 6 to 10 women. I mean, the person that we have admired for so long, considered his spiritual mentor for many, many Christians, and one of my spiritual mentor, and then all of a sudden, this thing come up. And it's kind of sick to your stomach, isn't it? But that's what happens when we manipulate power, when we use the power that God has given us for some trivial things, like some cheap trick. Our temptation is to trivialize the power, the privilege for selfish gain and popularity and prosperity. Are we tempted? Tempted to be like God. The tempter approached Jesus and said, "Turn this stone to bread. Aren't you hungry? Don't you deserve it? Aren't you worth it? Turn this stone to bread." Tempted Jesus to perform a cheap trick. You have every power to do that. Why don't you? Use your power, satisfy your hunger, fulfill your desire. And Jesus said, "No, I will obey the word of God. God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Not my hunger, not my desire, not my will, not my power. The only power I have been given is the hard test of love." It's not about quick fix, it's not about feeding my ego, my hunger, my desire, not about my power trip. I will not jump. It's not about me, not about how popular I am. I will bow down to no one but God. I will worship no one but God. I would rather lose my life than lose my soul to gain the world. Jesus gave his life to gain his soul for his work. So as disciples of Jesus Christ, we have Jesus who showed us how to live and how to love. You worship God and God only. And this is a result of his obedience. My blood shed for you, my body broken for you. And we partake on this as disciples of Jesus Christ. And within it is covered all the sins. Everything that we have